Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Blue Line RV Adventures. In today's video, we're not going to be doing any travels or doing anything really exciting. We are going to be doing, though, some repairs, upgrades, and maintenance on our RV. And specifically in this video, we're going to be changing our old standard light bulbs that are in the overhead ceiling of our rig into LED lights. So probably one of the first questions people are going to ask is they go, hey Phil, if your current lights already work, why do you want to change them out to LED? Well, there's a couple different reasons for that. You know, when we live in RVs, especially full-timers like Karen and I, one of the things we're always cognizant of is how much electrical power we are using. Because if you use too much, you're going to have some serious issues. LED lights actually use less watts than the old, and again, I'm not sure what the older light bulbs are called, maybe tubular lights, I'm not sure if they're called fluorescent or not, but you're basically standard old type of light bulb you're going to have in your ceiling here and your lights. The LED lights actually use less wattage when they're on than those old light bulbs. The first thing you do is you're going to save electricity. The second thing is that, and this is important, especially for right now, we're out here in central Arizona in the summertime, is that they put out less actual heat. They light up a lot great. In fact, the LED lights even light up, I think, even better than a regular light bulb does, but they actually put out less heat than a regular light bulb does. And the third reason why we're going to switch to LEDs is because it's, to me, and this is probably just more of a personal type answer, but to me, I think the LED lights actually put out a better quality light. It just, to me, it's more crisper. I like the way the light looks. It's just a lot different to me than a regular old type of halogen light bulb or the older type tube light bulbs that you'd probably have in your RVs or anywhere else inside your house. We just think, or at least I just think, and I think Karen does too, is that the LED lights put out a better, more crisper type of light. So that's why we're going to change these out to LED today. So once you make the decision that you want to switch out your old light bulbs, which are going to be the old halogen type bulbs or the old tube type bulbs, you want to switch those to LED. Once you make that decision, you want to do that for your RV. What you want to do is you want to find a good brand name or company that makes those LED light bulbs. And you want to make sure that you get the same type of light bulb from the same company, because you don't want to sit there and hodgepodge it and basically get one light bulb from one company, one LED light from one company and one from another. You want to make sure they're all uniform, they're all from the same company, because there are varying degrees of LED lights. No, they are not all the same. They are different. In Blue Line RV Adventures, we went with M4 products. You can find them online, and we first found out by M4 products by doing some research on YouTube, and we found out that another group we follow called RV Geeks, they actually did a lot of research on LED lights, and they also agreed that M4 products was the best. We did our own research and we agreed, so we went with M4 products. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do after that is you want to actually count up the number of light bulbs you've got. You want to sit there and count all of your fixtures. You want to go on your roof and count how many you want to switch out to LED. And there could be a lot of them. This could be kind of an expensive proposition for you. It might actually end up costing you $100, $200, maybe even $300, depending upon how many light bulbs you have or how many you want to switch out to LED. So there's all different kind of lights in RVs. In this RV, our 2011 Monaco, again, which we've affectionately named Matilda, the predominant light we have is what are referred to as, these are called puck lights. And most of our focus today is gonna be on these type of lights here. But we also changed out these lights here. I'm not exactly sure what these are, maybe just some type of a reading light. I'm not sure if these got a specific name to them, but we also changed out the LEDs on these lights and also the smaller puck lights, which are attached underneath your, a lot of times your cabinetry, or sometimes found in your bedroom or maybe in your bathroom under your sinks. So these are the three different type of lights we're gonna focus on in this video. So once you've counted up your individual lights and how many you need, and keep in mind that you can't just count up all the lights and write down I need X number of lights, because the lights here are different. Like I just showed you, we've got the puck lights on the ceiling, we've got other lights that are probably described as like cone-shaped type reading lights. We've got other lights that are located up under the bathroom cabinetry and places like that. And we've also got lights, individual reading lights we're going to show later on, directional lights. Those are all different kind of lights. So you need to count up all your lights you've got, but you need to categorize them. Your individual puck lights, how many there are on the roof, how many you've got under your cabinetry, and so forth. Then once you calculated all that, you next need to find out what kind of light bulbs you need. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to open up the housings and you're going to have to take out the individual light bulbs and look at them. Okay, so we're going to start off with the puck lights because this is the largest number of lights we have here in the RV. We have 18 different puck lights. And to get these out, a lot of times is not real easy, and let me show you what we ran into. Okay, to get these individual glass pieces off is sometimes not really easy. They are in fact glass. Sometimes when you look at them, you think they just, or touch them even, you might think they're just hard plastic, but no, they're actually really, it's really glass. So these are not designed to come off real easy, and they're not, depending upon what you do. Okay, so these puck lights are attached in the roof of your RV by generally one of three different ways. Generally, they are either a spring type of attachment where there's like two springs, almost kind of like, best way to describe it is like a mousetrap type spring inside here. There's another way that's got, once you take off your glass, and these are in fact glass, it kind of feels and looks like hard plastic, but it's really glass. But when you take these off, you're gonna find 3 Phillips screws in here. And then the other way is, which I've never seen before, but I've been told, is there's some kind of a pressure mounting to keep these up inside here. But in my 2011 Monaco, and what I've been able to do most of my research on YouTube, is that most of these are basically the mousetrap type springs in here. That's really only if you need to take out the entire housing. I'll talk about that in a minute, but a lot of times you don't have to do that. But if you do, if you've got to take out the entire inner housing inside here, be careful, because those springs are in there pretty tight and they'll slap down on your finger and give you an owie. So before you begin trying to remove these puck lights, I would suggest going out to probably an automotive store. I got this at AutoZone. You could probably go to Napa or anywhere else. And these are plastic pry tools. Sometimes people call them crafting tools, or sometimes they're called other different types of expertise type tools, but they're made out of plastic. And I'll open the package here. And again, I got mine from AutoZone. And basically, it's a pry tool, and that's what it's called. Comes in 3 different shapes and sizes, and this is because if you need to pry this off a little bit, you do not want to use anything metal. You don't want to use a butter knife, you don't want to use a screwdriver or anything like that, because this is glass and you're going to end up chipping and cracking and breaking this, and then you're really going to be up a creek, because now you're going to have to order something on Amazon to try to replace it when it really wasn't necessary. Go out to like an AutoZone or something like that, get one of these plastic pry tools, and it's really going to alleviate you a lot of headaches later on. So the first thing I found out by doing my research on YouTube was that there are several YouTube channels out there where the people are describing that you basically, using these type of tools or other things, you've got to get up here and you've got to pull down your entire housing. And I'm going to show that to you here in a second. But you're basically going to get, and it's not in there easy. This is in there tight. But you're going to pull down your entire housing unit. Sometimes you got to really kind of get it in there, get it all around. And you got to pull down your entire housing unit. It's coming down here like this. And again, this is not easy. And I've got half of it out. Put my tool down here. And then watch your fingers so you don't get snapped. I can actually see the springs. And I'm going to pull this down. And you can see these springs pop out here. I'll get a little close up of this so you can see these springs. So these are these springs. I try to hold up the camera with one hand and hold this with the other. But these springs are on here pretty tight. Trust me, when you try to bend these up all the way up, when they go inside, this is pretty tight. So this could whack down your finger and it wouldn't feel real well. So when you get this down, you got your entire housing down, you got a couple wires here. This is what some of the YouTube videos were talking about. They were explaining that you got to basically at this point grab your glass and twist either to the left or to the right, and voila, it will in fact come out. Now you've got your glass out. Then you reach inside, and I've already got an LED in here, but we'll just pretend like we got an old glass tube in here. But you're basically gonna pull your glass light bulb out. I think I've got a video of it I shot before, but you're gonna pull out your old glass light bulb, and how you get that size on what type of LED you need to replace it. Like for instance, we went to M4 Products. We actually called them on the phone, and through their website, they actually had a graph on the different types of light bulbs there were, and they were able to match up all over the phone just using their website on what type of light bulbs I needed or what type of LED lights I needed. So they were very, very, very helpful in doing that. But this procedure that I just showed you about pulling the whole housing down and everything like that, 8 out of 10 times, you are not gonna need to do that. If you watch YouTube videos that tells you that you've got to go through all 18 of these and pull these down and get your glass out, because there are YouTube videos out there that are like that, you do not have to do that. Let me show you. So I've put the light bulb back up and put it back inside the ceiling here, and I just want to show you another way. Instead of pulling your entire housing down to get your light bulb out, I'm just going to show you another way. Just simply twist the glass while it's still in there, and it comes out. That's all you got to do. You do not have to pull out this entire housing. I earlier explained that some of the housings have 3 different Phillips screwdrivers in here. Mine does not, but some of them say they do. You don't have to take those out unless you want to pull out the entire housing. You don't need to do that if you're just going to change LED bulbs. So if you're watching another YouTube video that says in order to replace regular halogen lights with your LED lights, you got to pull out the entire housing, you do not have to do that all the time. You may have to do it some of the time. On a couple of these, when we changed these out and we did all 18 of them, probably about 15 of them went great, just like this. You just twist it out, it comes out, you pull out your light bulb and you put in your LED, everything worked great. But there was a few of them, probably 2 or 3, that I'm telling you, I used all of my strength with that. I thought I was gonna break the light, and I didn't want to break it any further, so I did have to use my magic tools here, my Magic 3 plastic tools. I did have to pry out the entire housing. I then grabbed the glass and I took it out. But again, that was probably only about 15 or 20% of all the lights I changed in here. But be prepared that when you do this, some of these might become incredibly tight. So the next thing I'm going to show you here for your viewing pleasure is I'm going to show you the old light bulbs which were inside, if I can show this to you. These are the old light bulbs which were inside our ceiling lights and our puck lights. This is what they look like. Again, I don't know if these are called halogen or just basically tube lights, but this is the old type of light we had. You notice nothing gets screwed in. They've got 2 prongs. You basically just plug it in like a light socket. They were switched out to these LED lights. When you put these in, you want this yellow side here with like these yellow bands, you want that facing down, or whatever direction it's going to be basically illuminating. A friend of mine actually thought that they were faced up because inside the housing it was kind of metal and they thought it was done for reflection. No, you don't want to do that. These are actually facing down to whatever you want to illuminate. And again, it's got 2 little prongs. You're going to plug it in just like a light socket. So on the reading lights, the light bulbs, they're going to look just like this. This one's looks like it's burned out actually, but you don't really see the 2 long prongs that are on here. Again, this is the one for the ceiling lights, and this is the one for like the reading lights. Looks a little bit different. That's why all these bulbs are different, and you'll need different kind of LED lights to replace them. This one's a little bit different. Again, no prongs, but you're going to pull it straight out, and then you're going to replace it with an LED light that looks something like this. You're going to plug it in same way, and it's really just pull in and pull out. It's really that easy, nothing else to it. Next thing I'm going to show you are directional lights. And somebody's going to say, what the heck is a directional light? Directional lights are a lot of times located in RVs. They're located in the bedroom, and it's these lights right here that, you know, you're sleeping at night and you want to turn on, you want to read or whatever it is you want to do. Those are directional lights. You're going to find out really fast that you definitely want those to be LED. When we had our regular old halogen or tube lights in there, when I turned that thing on, it got so hot, and even to touch the outside of it was super hot. It was a super bright light. It was super hot. It was really annoying. You couldn't use the thing more than just for like a minute, and you had to turn it off. You really couldn't read a book by it. It was just too much power coming out of it. So we switched these out to LED lights. So as I turn this towards you, you're going to see that the LED, and get this up here, is actually this light right in here. It kind of looks like an egg. It looks like you've got a white outer part and a yellow yolk inner part. It's kind of tube shaped or cone shaped, I guess is probably what I want to say. But it takes a little bit of work to get in there, but you got to get it in right. But it takes probably about a minute or so. But once you get it lined up and get in there, it works great, as I demonstrate right here. Get my fat thumb out of the way. Ooh, too bright. There you go. So we've changed out all the old halogen tube type lights to the LED lights, and again, there was 18 puck lights we had in the main roof, and I don't remember how many other lights we had in the bathrooms and so forth. We switched them out all to LED, and I've got the RV all dark now. This is the daytime we're shooting this in, but I've got the RV kind of dark, so you get an idea what they look like when they're all on. And voila, this is what it looks like with all the LED lights on. Again, we've got 18 puck lights, and we've got a bunch of other lights on our reading lights and our directional lights, but we've exchanged all the lights inside the coach for LED, and right now all of the LED lights are actually on, and it's really not that hot. We've been in the coach with the prior fluorescent or tube type lights that were in there, and it got pretty warm in here just by the lights. These do not nearly put out. In fact, I can tell you right now, this is cold. I mean, this has been on for, at least the last minute or so, and it's actually cold. It's not hot at all, and there's less electrical drain on the system. So again, one of the things Karen and I try to emphasize here at Blue Line RV Adventures is that if we can do this, you can do this. Karen and I have had no RV experience whatsoever. We never owned an RV in our life. We've never, other than maybe tent camping when we were kids, we've never had any kind of an RV before. I've never driven anything as big as Matilda, and she's 43 feet long. And we, when we retired, we decided, hey, we're gonna become RVers. In fact, not only that, we're gonna become full-time RVers. And one of our little mottos was, hey, go big or go home. So we jumped right in this feet first. And again, if I can do this, you can do this. I'm not a handyman. I'm not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. Basically, I just do some research. I read directions. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. And again, if I can do this, you can do this. If you've got the challenge, if you've got the dream, the desire to go RVing, whether it be full-time or part-time, but you've just never done it before and you don't think you can do it, just follow our videos. Follow us here at Blue Line RV Adventures. Consider hitting subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. We'll have more videos in the future. The only other thing I wanted to add really fast as I look down at this is that if you are going to do this job, one other tool you might want to have is this little, this is by Duracell, but these are one of these little basically lights that you mount on your forehead. These are actually really came in handy when you're putting the light bulbs back in. It's easy to pull them out, but when you're putting them back in, those two little prongs, the two little holes inside the light are not the easiest to see. So if you're like me and got to wear glasses, it's not that easy to begin with. So I would go out and invest in one of these little headlights for your forehead. You can use these for all sorts of things, but it definitely helps when you're putting the LED lights on. And again, at Blue Line RV Adventures, we got your six.